Welcome back, guys. It's been a little while since we jumped on the camera. I have just got back from Oz. Bloody bird back there. Absolutely great little trip home. It's weird saying that because I live in Squamish, Canada, and I love it here, and I call it home, but Australia is also still home. So it was great going home. Yeah, we went back. Little brother got married. That was fab. Lots of great memories there. Like my son Oaks, he slept through the whole ceremony. It was it was the funniest thing. So the place we were at, so picture this, we are out in the hinterland of northern New South Wales. Great little like eco lodge thing. So you can have like a wedding and have lots of people stay, and you're there for a few days. You get to see everyone, chat with everyone. You're not just there for a few hours. The actual ceremony venue is, you got a 4x4 to get out to it, and it's up in the backs of the property, up on the hills. You've got to go up some dirt roads that aren't really roads. They're more like your classic farm beaten in trail. So they weren't the smoothest thing. Luckily at the time we were borrowing my old man's Land Cruiser as our getabout while we were in town, so it handled the roads like a treat. And so you're up on this hill. There's a fig tree in the middle of this peak. They've mowed it down so the grass and everything's spectacular, with a view overlooking, I think it's Mount Warning. I think that's what I was told. Anyway, Mount Warning, gorgeous mountain. The view from where we were, just unparalleled, just great. Like, not incredible elevation where we were, but just unimpeded view of just the valleys out towards Mount Warning. Like, it had some lovely rains, everything was green, it was fresh, just fab. Anyway, so we're underneath this fig tree. We're all kind of waiting around for my sister-in-law to show up as brides do. They're the last ones to come, the usual jazz. So anyway, we're all waiting. Oaks kind of, he kind of snuggles up to my leg at one point, and I'm like, oh, like he's a bit tired, like kind of nap time for the kid at the time. Eventually, he's between my legs on the ground in a ball. I was like, okay, like maybe he's throwing a tantrum here. And then I looked down a little while later, and he's stretched out, face down in the grass, just gone, absolutely just passed out. And that's where he stayed for the entirety of the ceremony. So like 45 minutes, just passed out on the grass. To the point, he was so out of it in his sleep that I was able to pick him up by the back of his shirt and the tops of his pants and just move him. I had to move him at one point because we were getting a lot of sun. I was like, we haven't put sunscreen on this guy. Like, we should probably get him out of the sun. So we moved him into some of the shade of the fig tree, which turns out that was very short-lived. The sun kept rising. We kept losing more and more of that shade instead of gaining. So move him, left him there. Little did I know, when I moved him and where I ended up standing with him over him to keep the sun off him, was right next to where my sister-in-law was walking by as she walks down the aisle. We say that figuratively because it wasn't really an aisle. She had to walk around the fig tree to get to the whole setup. I didn't know that was how they were going to be entering. No one warned me when I moved. My brother didn't, none of the groomsmen. No one who knew anything was actually going on. I had no idea what was going on. My brother was very nice to me, and he let me and my wife just not really partake in the wedding shenanigans of all of that because of the kids. He was just happy we were there, happy the kids came, happy the kids were on there, like, were just behaving so well. Yeah, so anyway, I had no idea. And you can tell when someone's really in the moment and focused on like what the moment is when your sister-in-law walks past you towards my brother and has no idea that her nephew is passed out on the ground within a couple of meters of where she's walking by, as she walks by. And we tell her afterwards, she's like, I had no idea. Like, she walked past, didn't even register that he was on the ground. That's how, like, she was in the moment, just looking at my brother, and I was like, oh, this is great to hear. Because I noticed like there was no like crack in her demeanor when she walked past. I was like, okay, I don't think she noticed Oakley had passed out, But anyway, so yeah, that was one of the great memories, along with the coffee shop near the venue, little town of UKI. Anyway, they've turned the old post office into a coffee shop, and it still is the post office for Australian Post.
Cancelled.
So that was pretty unique. Plus, it was just like a great old building built with all the old, probably it looked like Jarrah or Eucalypt, like a very red Australian wood, which was great. It's hardwood, looks beautiful, and they'd redone it all up. So it had all kind of the modern finishings in it. So just everything was done up very nicely, modern polishing on the floors, the walls were gorgeous, a few like mod cons with like, this tall TV, I would like to say, so not wide but very skinny screen. That was just playing some stuff to do with the post office itself, the coffee shop, and a few other scenery things. Very gorgeous. Great coffee though. Bit fruity for my taste, but still darn good coffee. And then I think I have some footage from that week. I think I was talking. I think I filmed some stuff, so we'll shove it in maybe after this or before this. I'm gonna check it out. And then the rest of the trip we just kind of checked out. We went back to my parents' place, did some dumb stuff on the jet skis and boats, because they're on the water, so why not? We didn't grow up on the water there. My parents moved there when I moved over here. Once my little brother bought a house and we bought a house, and they were like, we're moving to the coast and we're going to have waterfront because your dad wants waterfront. So they went and did that. So anyway, there for a bit, and then we went out to my in-laws' property, which is kind of in the northern suburbs of Brisbane. One of the few big properties still remaining. They got like 40 or 60 acres, something pretty insane, which is, very rare to be that close to the city. I think they're the biggest one within the proximity of where they are to the city. If we're doing time or distance from the city, you'll find bigger properties as you get further out, but for where they are, everything else has been subdivided now into smaller lots. So anyway, it's basically a farm. Father-in-law has cattle every so often. There was no cattle at the time. He just sold off the herd, and he's waiting to get a fresh herd in. And then brother-in-law is doing some ag out there with produce. Absolute big variety. But it's amazing how much produce he can grow every week. And he's doing it with compost rows or something. So it's really nutritious soil, and I think that does a huge thing. But it also, he's not turning the soil, the ground up every time, so it's really stable soil as well. Really healthy for the environment for him to do it this way, and also produces great crops, so spray free, all that sort of jazz. So we're lucky enough we had a few veggies from his growing stuff from his farm on the property. He's picked the best soil location on the property. This is one little area down towards the creek. That's, what do they call it? Loamy soil. So anyway, I'm learning about this loamy soil. Apparently my house here in Squamish says loamy soil, which as I'm still learning what the term means, it makes sense. However, the amount of rocks we have, because it used to be a creek bed, is stupid. Big rocks, small rocks, you name it. There are lots of rocks in the soil. Yeah, so that was fab. We basically switched off. We didn't get a SIM card when we went into Oz. We were relying on access to internet for anything. So, for a bit of nostalgia for you out there, we at times we would preload the maps on our phone, but every so often those maps would have a tantrum and they wouldn't work for one reason or another. New roads would get taken off the route and it would just kind of not be happy with us. So we pulled out the old Refidex. I had to explain that to some people here in Canada. Refidex is basically a map. It's a book though, and it allows you to find where you're going in a city. Obviously, as cities change, you want to have a fairly new Refidex, so it has all the new roads. Unfortunately, the Refidex that was in the Land Cruiser, not super new. So there were a few occasions where it was like, great, we're in a new area, we don't know where we're going. And we would have to wait for a family friend or someone who we were conveniently at the time traveling with to pull up and help us get to where we were going for that short period of time. Or we'd find a coffee shop. So anyway, that was the shenanigans there. We switched off, hence why I haven't really put anything out in a little while, because it was just the first proper vacation I've had at least since 2022. I've not really switched off since then and had a vacation like this. Like, we've had a few trips home, but we've had SIM cards and with the businesses, like, we've not been paying attention. Like the last trip I remember 2 years ago, we went to Australia. Like, I was up at 1 or 2 in the morning dealing with issues that the business was experiencing at the time, whether it was like maintenance or repairs or something. So like, you weren't really off. So we finally got to just check off this time. Liv and managed to set up her business so that she could, to some degree, not pay that much attention to it. Every so often she might, like, you know, reply to an email or something if it was vital for the continuation of ops. But otherwise, she was like, sent out her email reply to everyone saying that, you know, if they send an email in, and do the holiday reply. So yeah, they were redirected off to whoever was managing things. So it was great. But we're back, and we're back into chaos already. We have a lot to get done at the moment. We are getting a lot of just household admin checked off at the moment. It's a bit chaotic there. And then no news on the ski resort. We've all been debating it. If there will be news, we're really not sure. Statistics say that roughly 50% or more of these deals, so 50 to 70% of these sort of deals, fall through. However, I think as I highlighted in the last video, she likes them. So, she is the seller, likes them. So there is less of an odds that it will fall through. But on the chance it does, we're still holding tight. And that can be up to 90 days or longer before we hear about it. So that could be probably until sometime in July. We may hear something if it falls over. So everyone on our side is just kind of holding steady with things. If it does fall over, we'll reevaluate at the time and decide if we wish to do it. But until then, it's all hands on deck for me with Apex. We're back in town, so it's go time again. Working with a studio, or well, we're about to. We've gone through all the prelim stuff with them on branding. So I'm going to be getting branding package done up, and then I'm going to be looking into packaging with them. So packaging just in terms of the visual, not so much the actual packaging intricacies itself, but the like what the print will look like on the packages. So that's going to be where we'll be heading with them. I'm super excited. I love the work they've done. I've also loved my interactions with them currently. It's something that has been really rewarding in terms of helping me as well kind of look into the company in different ways, with the questions they've been asking about, like, what is the company about? What's it going to do? Who's it for? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And all of that. And it's been really enlightening, because a lot of what I kind of started with, yes, I've come into it with more experience, but it was like, all right, cool, we're going to do, like, this is the story as to why I'm doing this. This is the product's testing, the products work. But I hadn't really thought about what the company was for, and like its imagery, its flavor, its everything. Like, you know, kind of the meat and bone, the meat of it. I mean, we're working on the bones of it a lot, but we hadn't looked at kind of anything else. So it's been really great with that. It's a studio with 2 people, so a very small team. They're really good at what they do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to signing on with them to get this done. And yeah, we'll be going from there. It's going to be really exciting there. I'm looking forward to it. It's not a huge amount I can do. I'm going to test a few more things with our products and just play around with how production is going to be done in our location, so I can hopefully streamline it down to a level of efficiency that makes sense for what I'll be doing at the time. I'm not going to go crazy and try and get some crazy setups that I can produce thousands and thousands and thousands of product, units of product, when I may sell 10, maybe 100 products over whatever period of time. So I don't want to get ahead of myself here. It's a long way to go before I need anything crazy, so I am just going to make it so that I don't get cross-contamination. It's really easy to keep stuff organized, make sure that my pours are clean, make sure all of it is just set up well so that the products you guys get are the products you want without anything else. There's no partial product in your product, not even a drop. I don't want that for you guys. I want to know that my ingredients I'm also putting in are to the level that I want to put in, so there's not more or less affecting potentially the performance and quality of that product. So yeah, really being able to get those vital details right with production are going to be key. And one perk of all of this is I'll be doing runs at the time, so I will be going to be like, all right, we're gonna do the ski wax this time, and another time it'll be like, all right, this time we're going to produce the anti-chafing cream. I don't think I'll be doing too many where I'll be doing lots of different products at the same time. It'd be great to get to that point, but for now we don't need to, so we probably won't. But you know, if you guys out there love the product and you buy plenty of it, then you're going to force me to have to step up my game real quick. So, not to jinx it, but I'm not ready for a quick growth. I'm happy for it to take some time. It's been enjoyable this time around starting a new business, whereas last time it was fun kind of doing like the business plan, but after that point it got stressful really quickly because there was a lot of, okay, the moment we do this bit, all of a sudden there were overheads. So like you had, you know, you had to pay money without even operating, or once you were operating you had big overheads to just stay open, let alone be busy. Whereas this time, if I go away on holidays, my only overhead is just the very base expenses. Like if I have insurance, or if I have some marketing, or if I have a server to pay for the website or something. That's about it. Otherwise, all my other expenses have already been incurred previously, so I have no further expenses, like the product and equipment, raw materials. That's all done. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been really fun so far. I'm really looking forward to showing you guys what our first products look like in a package when they are ready to go. I don't know when that'll be, hopefully not too far away, but I'm really looking forward to showing you that when it occurs. So for now, I'm going to keep tinkering away with some R&D stuff on it. Yeah, and we'll go from there. But we've got some other things coming up. I'm going to get some footage of what's all happening. Summer, spring here, so we are getting the yard looking great to enjoy some outdoor living, and also still trying to get rid of some of the old Cove equipment. So stay tuned. Yeah, if you know anyone who wants a giant recovery trailer, you let me know. I have one and I'm happy to sell it to someone if they want it, so give me a shout. I can only get it, it's only up here in Squamish, so if you're somewhere else, you're going to have to get it to you. But you're welcome to come pick it up from my house if you buy it. I'll even shout you a coffee. But we're off to treat today down in West Van. It's going to be great to see everyone again. So I am going to sign off here and enjoy the rest of my drive and some treating today. Like 10, 12 clients, so we're going to have some fun. Fix them all up, get them back on the road, get them feeling great, get them moving well.